What is going on, Virgo? Welcome to your weekly forecast for November 2nd through November 8th of 2020. Hope you had a great weekend, great Halloween. I hope you're doing great overall. There's definitely a lot going on this week. We get a Mercury station in your second house. It's going to square Saturn all week. And then this weekend gets kind of wild with a lot of energy popping off. So, that Mercury station's a big deal in your second house. So I would say that it's going to square Saturn all week, like I mentioned, in your fifth house. It started in your third and came back into your second. So I think you've been internally processing a lot about what you need to express within your environment and to how to communicate a lot of these thoughts that you've had. And then it's also come back into your second house of the self-value, self-worth, and communicating what you need to create and to build with and to feel confident. And I think that's a big thing. And the square to Saturn is like, you need to take responsibility for what you want to create and express it and let it out there and let it be seen. And don't hold yourself back, or Mercury's direct now. It's time to let all that internal processing out that you've been accumulating, and to do it in your own creative way and to do it in your own individual way of however that is for you. Venus is going to be just trucking along here in your second house. So I think there's a lot about, finding that comfort and beauty and, feeling good within yourself and seeing the aesthetic and the beauty in you. And then it's going to oppose Mars at the end of the week, but it's also going to hit that midpoint of Mars and Chiron in your eighth house. So I think that there's definitely this push and pull of like letting go of negative emotions towards yourself and letting go of negative feelings towards yourself and making sure that you're taking action for rebuilding and renewing that relationship, and transmuting negative energy is very important. And to make sure that you're going after your desires based on the wants that you have and the needs that you have within yourself, and to speak from that with the square to Saturn, to not like hold yourself back from your true desires is very important. This moon here is going to come over Rahu, the north node, early in the week, and it's going to make a square to Neptune in your seventh house. So I think that, even with the north node there, and when the moon's there making the square, there's a lot that's going to kind of come up emotionally about the future and what you need to create and how you need to build structures in your life to get yourself further and to get up this mountain of life. And I think you need to make sure that you're doing it from a place of your own inner creativity and your own values, and not being delusioned by what other people think with Neptune in your seventh. So make sure that you're setting goals and plans for yourself, and of course take people along if they're on that vibe with you, but definitely don't let other people just take you on their ride. I think it's time for you to creatively break out and do it your own way. And then that moon's going to come into your 11th house. It's going to oppose all the Capricorn energy this week. So it's also going to square Mars retrograde in your 8th house. So again, there's definitely this renewal of innovation that's going on within yourself, and I think that you need to make sure that you're doing it from the heart and making sure that you're really taking that 5th house into accountability and doing it your own way and individuating yourself in ways and finding groups that see that and that aren't holding you back from your future, and making sure that there's that vibe is very important. And it could have to do with, renewing that energy in some way, making sure that that people are not holding you back. And you might have to take action for that, for those deep desires to innovate for the future and to do it from a place of your own wants and needs and from your own values. And you're going to find people that, that's what the 11th house is good for. It's like you do it your own way, in your own unique way to innovate. People are going to find you. That's just how the universe works. And, I think that that's a big thing this week too. Then that moon's going to come into Leo this weekend, and that's when things start to get wild, because that moon in Leo is going to make the third quarter square to the sun, which is the sun, of course, in your third house. I think it's a lot about the message right now and expressing that. Well, in the 12th house here, it's definitely about expressing the messages that you're getting from the universe, and to kind of dream and let those dreams be expressed and not hold yourself back from what you do want to create in the future. And it gets a little wild because that moon is going to quincunx Neptune. It's going to trine Mars. It's going to make that square to the sun. And it's also going to quincunx Jupiter. And then the sun's going to trine over to Neptune this weekend. And then it's going to quincunx over to Mars retrograde. So that's what I'm saying. This weekend gets like, there's just all sorts of energy and a lot of quincunxes, and it can feel like we're really being guided. And for you, I would say it's guided towards something that feels actually dreamy and connected to yourself in a positive way, and to go there and to make sure that you're building towards the future off that. Like, these dreams, these visions are the real deal. And, I would say that it really feels like you're being puppeteered towards just following that intuition in a big way. It could take you so far, and it could renew so many beautiful things in your life. And in a sense, you got to close out this chapter, this cycle that's coming up here in a way that you can truly express from your desires and from that confident place within yourself to let the new goodness come in. So it gets pretty wild next weekend. Lots of energy, definitely hitting some big houses for you, a lot of fixed houses. And I think that you need to embrace the changes that you're going through with that Mars retrograde in the 8th house, and go for your desires and uncover what needs to happen. Make sure you're hitting goals in the future, and express from your heart and express from a place of confidence, and don't hold yourself back from that. The 6 of Coins upright is the card for the day. So yeah, I think everything's a little give and take in life, and you need to make sure that the reality that you're trying to take aligns with what you want to create, and to not just take whatever it is, but to find a little bit of a balance, and make sure that you're putting the relationship with yourself first and renewing that energy. And I think that the balance will come naturally, because you'll know how much to give to others, because you'll know how much you need in return. And I would say that's where this week's at. Hope you have a great week, Virgo. I will catch you next time. Peace.